Peace does not shout. It whispers. Before the world wakes, before the first human voice rises into the morning, a single white feather catches the light. It moves gently in the air, not falling, not flying, but drifting as if carried by an invisible hand. A calm lake rests beneath the mist. The water is still. The sky is pale. The earth seems to be holding its breath. Then, from the softness of the dawn, a white dove descends. Its wings move with quiet rhythm. No violence. No urgency. No command. It lands on the edge of a marble fountain and lowers its head to drink a single drop of water. Purity in every movement. The dove is one of the oldest symbols in human memory. Across faiths, cultures, songs, paintings, and prayers, this small white bird has carried a meaning far greater than its body. It has become the image of peace, innocence, grazie, hope, and the spirit that moves gently through a troubled world. But why the dove? Why not the eagle, with its power? Why not the raven, with its wisdom? Why not the swan, with its elegance? Perhaps because the dove represents a strength that does not need to dominate. It does not conquer the sky with violence. It does not hunt with talons. It does not announce itself with thunder. Its power is quieter, softer, and more difficult to understand. The dove is the power of gentleness. And gentleness is not weakness. Gentleness is strength under control. A dove perched on an olive branch is not simply a pretty image. It is a message the storm has passed. The waters are retreating. Life can begin again. In the story of Noah, the dove returns with a green leaf in its beak. Not a crown, not a sword, not a treasure, just a small olive branch. But that small branch means everything. It means the earth is healing. It means judgment has ended. It means the future is possible. This is how peace often arrives. Not as a sudden miracle, but as a small sign that the flood is finally ending. A leaf. A breath. A quiet morning. A heart that no longer feels at war with itself. The dove flies through sunlight, and its wings become almost transparent. Light passes through the feathers, like grace passing through the soul. It does not belong only to the sky. It belongs to the space between earth and heaven, between grief and comfort, between fear and trust. A child reaches out a hand. The dove does not flee. It stays, calm and unafraid. Innocence recognizes innocence. Trust is the foundation of peace. To be near a dove is to feel the nervous system soften. The shoulders drop. The breath slows. The mind becomes less sharp, less defensive. Something in us remembers that not every presence is a threat. The dove tells the body you are safe now. And maybe this is why humanity has always needed it. Because the world is loud. The world is fast. The world is filled with conflict, ambition, fear, competition, and noise. But the dove carries a different rhythm. The rhythm of a quiet heart. The rhythm of water touching stone. The rhythm of wings moving through morning air. It reminds us that peace is not the absence of movement. Peace is movement without violence. A white dove lands on a rusted cannon. The metal is old, stained, heavy with the memory of war. But the white wing rests on it without fear. This is the ultimate victory over conflict. Not the victory of one army over another, but the victory of grace over the need to fight. Where conflict ends, grace begins. The cannon was built to destroy. The dove comes to bless. And for one moment, history is rewritten by softness. But peace is not only found in temples, gardens, and quiet lakes. The dove also appears in cities. It lands on high-rise balconies, church roofs, bridges, power lines, train stations, and crowded markets. It looks down at the rushing streets below as if watching a species that has forgotten how to breathe. Cars move. People hurry. Screens glow. Voices rise. And still, the dove remains calm. Peace in the heart of the city. This is not escape. This is presence. The dove does not wait for the world to become quiet before it carries peace. It brings peace into the noise. It sits above the traffic. It watches the crowd. It reminds us that even in the middle of motion, there can be stillness. A dove perched on a hospital window ledge becomes more than a bird. Inside, a patient turns toward the glass. There are machines, wires, tired eyes, and unspoken fear. But the bird stays. It tilts its head as if listening. Comfort without words. Sometimes the soul does not need explanation. It needs companionship. It needs a small visitor from the living world. It needs to know that outside the pain, the sky is still open. The dove becomes a silent prayer. A sign that the weary are not forgotten. In a church, a dove rests on a wooden cross. Sunlight forms a halo around its body. The image is simple, but the meaning is deep. Sacrifice and peace. Suffering and grace. The weight of the world and the promise that love is stronger than violence. The dove does not erase pain. It transforms how we carry it. That is grace. Not the denial of suffering, but the presence of light within it. A dove flies through incense smoke, and the smoke curls around its wings like a prayer taking shape. The scent of sandalwood, old stone, and candle wax fills the air. The bird passes through the haze, and for a moment, the invisible becomes visible. Prayer is like that. You cannot hold it, but you can feel when it passes through a room. The dove is often connected to the spirit because it moves the way the spirit moves, gently, freely, unpredictably, but with purpose. It appears, rests, bless, and rises again. It cannot be forced. It can only be received. You cannot grip peace with clenched fists. You open your hand and let it land. The dove also teaches the wisdom of softness in relationship. Two doves sit side by side on a wire. They do not need spectacle. Their closeness is quiet. Their presence is enough. Peace is never a lonely path. It is built through trust, patience, and repeated acts of gentleness. A mother dove feeding her young, A pair resting together in the evening. A nest hidden in a quiet alcove. Provision without pride. Protection without aggression. The gentlest provision. This is a kind of love the world often overlooks. Not dramatic love. Not loud love. But faithful love. The love that returns. The love that feeds. The love that listens. The love that makes a small sanctuary in a dangerous world. A dove bathing in a shallow stream shakes droplets into the sun. Water flashes like tiny diamonds. There is joy in the simple act of being. No ambition. No performance. Only water, feathers, sunlight, and life. This too is holy. Not everything sacred must be grand. Sometimes holiness is a bird in a rain puddle, a feather floating on water, a candle burning in a dark room, a child laughing under a white sky, a dove crossing a field after the storm. Across the world, the dove appears in different landscapes, but the message remains the same. It flies over the Great Wall, reminding us that peace transcends all walls. It passes above Jerusalem, ancient witness of the holy. It glides through New York, calm in the concrete jungle. It moves above rice fields in Vietnam, carrying grace through the simple life. It crosses markets, mountains, vineyards, temples, schools, cemeteries, and oceans. The dove belongs everywhere because peace is needed everywhere. In a military cemetery, rows of white crosses stretch into the distance. The cost of humanity's search for peace is written in stone. A dove lands on the grave of an unknown soldier, known by the Spirit. The bird does not understand politics. It does not know borders. It does not read the names of nations. It only carries the symbol we have placed upon it: rest, blessing, release. For the brave who did not return. For the families who still remember. For the world still learning how to stop repeating its wounds. The dove rises again and flies over a school playground. Children run, laugh, and chase one another beneath the open sky. The sound is light, unburdened. Hope has a voice, and often it sounds like children playing. This is why peace matters. Not as an abstract idea, but as a future someone can live inside. A dove enters a cathedral during a wedding. White dress, white wings. A vow spoken before witnesses. The bird lands near the altar rail, as if blessing the union. But marriage, like peace, is not only a beautiful moment, it is a daily practice, a choice to return, a choice to listen, a choice to repair, a choice to remain gentle when being harsh would be easier. Peace is not passive. Peace is discipline. It is the strength to stop the cycle before it passes through you. A dove perched on a globe becomes an almost childlike symbol piece for the whole world. Simple, maybe too simple, and yet the deepest truths often are. The world does not need more hatred, made intelligent. It needs gentleness made strong. The dove flies above borders because it does not recognize them. It crosses rivers, walls, flags, languages, and histories. It belongs to the sky, and the sky belongs to no one. Peace must be like that. Larger than tribe, larger than nation, larger than ego. A dove perched on a sundial reminds us that grace is beyond time. The shadow moves, but the bird stays. The years pass, empires change, generations come and go. Still, the symbol remains. Because every age needs the same prayer. Let there be peace. Let there be mercy. Let the storm end. Let the heart rest. Then the dove begins its final ascent. It rises above the clouds, beyond the noise of the world. The atmosphere deepens into blue. Its wings begin to glow with their own light. A trail of white radiance follows behind it, like the path of the soul returning to its source. The bird circles a distant star. Its heartbeat syncs with the pulse of the universe. One heart, one rhythm. Then the dove dissolves into 1,000 white sparks. They fall back to earth like luminous snow, touching children, homes, fields, hospitals, churches, and silent rooms where someone is waiting for comfort. A child catches one spark in an open hand. Their face lights up with a smile. The presence is reborn. This is the final grace. Peace does not remain far away in heaven. It returns to the world through human hearts. It becomes patience, forgiveness, a softer word, a hand released from anger, a home made safe. A war ended before it begins. A dove lands on a human heart, and the heart begins to glow. The true resting place of peace was never only the sky. It was always within us. So breathe. Open your hand. Let the storm settle. Let the white wing move through your thoughts. Let grace land where fear once lived. And when you go back into the world, carry the message with you. Peace does not shout. It whispers. And still, it changes everything. Peace be with you.